A warning about the impact of tariffs on Thunder Bay's economy. Good evening and thank you for joining us. While Canada managed to avoid the recent set of global tariffs from U.S. President Donald Trump, the Thunder Bay Chamber of Commerce warns that existing tariffs on energy, potash, aluminum, steel, and cars will still have a significant impact on our local economy. Chamber President Charlotte Robinson also says many local businesses are concerned about the continued uncertainty. Jessica Clement reports.
The Chamber of Commerce says Canada will still deal with significant tariffs from the United States, including 10% on energy and potash and 25% on steel and aluminum. A 25% auto tariff also came into effect on Thursday. President Charlotte Robinson says even though Thunder Bay isn't directly involved in auto production, we'll still feel a ripple effect.
I do know that there are some businesses in Thunder Bay that while their business maybe directly here in Thunder Bay isn't specifically providing, auto parts to plants, they are in some of their other branches across Ontario very much connected to auto parts and auto plants. So there is definitely a feeling of concern around how that's going to impact overall.
Robinson notes the local business community as a whole is confused, with many unsure of how the impact of tariffs will look like. She explains that global trade is so intertwined, something that's happening in a different country like China or Brazil will still impact the local economy.
Even the businesses that I talked to this morning who maybe are specifically connected to certain supply chains are saying, we still don't know. We're trying to figure out, it's only day 2, right? So I think that's going to be a bit of the next couple of weeks is people trying to figure out what are those impacts and then what is the plan to address those impacts and how can they, mitigate any damage.
Despite it being an anxiety-inducing time in history, Robinson notes there could be a silver lining.
We're going to get through this. We've been through challenges before, and it really speaks to maybe there's some opportunities that we haven't had because of these changes to global markets that we might be able to capitalize on. Things like breaking down internal trade barriers that will now allow, producers here to perhaps open up markets in other provinces that they haven't had before.
Jessica Clement, TVT News.